Hey y'all, welcome to the Filling Station. It's a new day, another opportunity to either make money in this market or to just learn from the market. But first, let me give my disclaimer. I am not a financial advisor. I just enjoy teaching people how to build generational wealth. And yes, the stock market is just one of those avenues. So this video is for educational purposes only. But if you could please like, share, subscribe, y'all. We learn and we grow together. With that being said, let's get started. So we are looking at AMD and we closed here at 167.13. Immediately I go to the gathering spot or the consolidation area. Looking at this 30-minute chart, price gathered here in this area, which is where that 200 EMA is, and a support line that we have at 165.98. So we're going to use this area as a support, and we've broken through a level of resistance which was around that 166.44 area, broken through another layer of resistance, 166.79. So where are the trouble places? We would need to get back above 167.14. Breaking that brings us back to the ATR trail and stop around the 167.57. Could be a rejection area, and as you can see, it's really close to the 167.66 area that we have marked. I like to see that, right? So breaking that brings us back to, we can use the high of this candle, 168.10. Could be a rejection area for us, and should we break that, we could possibly have trouble around 168.61. Breaking the 168.61 for AMD today, we could possibly have trouble 168.97 and breaking that level 169.54. Those are possible areas of resistance. Now back to the downside again, 166.79, breaking that 166.44. This is a case where support becomes resistance, becomes our support. 165.98 brings us under this here level. I call it the gathering spot. So in a few layers of support or moving averages, we're using those areas as support. So I would say breaking this 165.98, we could possibly have trouble or support around 165.72, 165.37. Something stopped us here at the 165.08. Breaking that level brings us back to the 164.83, 164.55, 164.32, and breaking that for AMD today, 164.01. Should we break that, 163.69? And breaking that level brings us back to around the 163.13. What will be interesting is if we should break that, again, 162.72, something stopped us at this 162.50 area here, a place we kind of knew we could possibly have trouble. So if you're trading AMD today, I say it often, y'all, trade carefully. Why? Because in this market, anything is possible. Nothing is guaranteed. So we are looking at Meta. We closed at 747.38, and y'all see we are bouncing off of this ATR trail and stop as a support area. Resistance we could possibly say is around that 747.86. Support we're going to use here at 746.71. What's interesting is this going to be a hammer back to the upside, even though we have a few moving averages here that could possibly stop us out, and a level here at 748.25. So where are the trouble places? Breaking above the 748, I keep saying 20, 748.25, we could possibly have trouble here at the 748.77. Should we break that area, let's say 750.21, breaking that, we're going to use the 200 EMA, 750.61 could be a rejection area, and breaking that 751.89. Should we break the 751.89, 754.43, let me make sure I have 754.41, 754.41. Yes. So should we break that area 754.23 and breaking that level 754.86? So if you're trading Meta today, those are possible areas of rejection. And I'm going to go back and make a correction here. So that level was 753.41 and then 754.23 and 754.86. Those are possible areas of resistance for Meta today. Back to the downside, let's say we lose support support here of this ATR trail and stop. In my opinion, that's a strong area of support. Breaking that 746.43 area, we could possibly come back to 746.30, 745.55, and breaking that 744.72, which puts us here in this zone that we were trading in on yesterday. Make sure. On the 27th, not yesterday. So if we should break that area, guess what? We can come back to this area here. Something stopped us around the 743.15. And should we break that, 742.29 could be a support area for Meta. Now breaking that 742.29 area, we can come back to the 740.07. So if Meta is something that you trade, I said often, y'all mark your levels and make sure you have a reason for getting in the trade, and once it goes against your why, get out. Live to trade another day, right? So we are now looking at NVIDIA. We closed at 181.60. As you can see, we were trading in this zone here, bounce from there only to move. Looks like we've been going up, right? So where are the trouble places? We've just got rejected somewhere around this 179.74, so we know that could be a trouble place for us. We can use this 178.78 area as a support area. So support 178.78, resistance we can say here 179.74, and if you want to look on a much smaller scale, 179.46 could be a rejection area. So back to the upside for NVIDIA today, we will need to get back above 179.93, breaking that level, 180.12, again 180.31, 180.65, again 181.07, 181.28, and breaking that 181.53. Those are possible areas of resistance for NVIDIA as of now. Should we break under, let's say, the 178.78 area, which is here, we could possibly come back to 178.58, not very far away. However, breaking that 178.25 puts us right where that 20 EMA is. However, breaking this area, we could come back to 177.80, again here at 177.43, back to this area 176.89, losing that area of support 176.60, and should we break that area 176.24, breaking that level for NVIDIA today puts us back at the 175.88. So if NVIDIA is something that you trade, I said often, y'all, trade carefully, mark your levels. Once it goes against your reason for getting in the trade, get out. So let's look at the SPY today. We closed at 646.63. Where are the trouble places? SPY's been making new highs. 647.91 is the high from, let's say, yesterday. So as of now, support, we can say 646.49. Resistance 647.13. Breaking that 647.13 for the SPY. Something stopped us here in this area here, so we could possibly have trouble again. 647.48 and breaking that 647.91. Should we break that 647.91, we could make a new high. Let's say that. Now back to the downside. Let's say we break under the 646.49. We can come back to the 646.21. Y'all see that is where our 50 EMA is as of now. I just love to see that simple support and resistance, as I like to say, right? So breaking the 646.21 for the SPY today, we can come back to 645.82, which puts us back in this area here. Something's been, holding us up here. So 645.82 and breaking that, the ATR trail and stop 645.49. Again, in my opinion, strong support area for the SPY today. Should we break that, 645.22 is the next level, breaking that 644.99. And should we break that 644.99, I'm going to go here because something kind of stopped us in this area of 644.80 for the SPY. Now breaking that, we could very well come back to 644.38, breaking that 644.38. Y'all see the 200 EMAs at that 644.14 area. So could this be our support area? Anything is possible, right? So if you're trading SPY today, I say it often, y'all, trade carefully. So we're now looking at Tesla. And Tesla does what Tesla does. We closed at 349.60. we have made a pre-market low of 345.08. Seems like support is around this area, say 347.50. Resistance possibly 348.75. Should we break that area, 349.37 and breaking that 349.84. What will be interesting is if we break back, because yesterday that was a support area for us, which was the ATR trail and stop on our 30-minute chart from yesterday. Now that was a strong area of support for Tesla. If we break back past that area, we've broken through a few layers of resistance. I would say watching the 350.61. So breaking above 350.50 or 350.60 for Tesla means, in my opinion, we've broken through a level of resistance. So breaking that level, we could possibly have trouble again at 351.31 and breaking that 351.88. Breaking that level, 353.02, 353.44, 354.55, 355.38, and that's a few layers here at that 356.27. So if you're trading Tesla to the upside today, those could be possible areas of resistance. Now back to the downside, let's say we break under the 347.27, we could very well come back to 346.84, around the 346.23, breaking that level. 345.59, as you can see, that's where price has been gathered in this area here. So breaking that, something stopped us again here at that 345.08, breaking that level 344.80 or 344.75, and breaking that brings us back to the 344.29, which is where our 200 EMA is as of now. However, breaking this, I just like to see that. So breaking this 344.29, we could very well come back to the 343.25, and there's a few layers of support here down to 342.76 and breaking that 342.15. So if you're trading Tesla today, I say it often, y'all, Tesla just does what Tesla does. Mark your levels once it goes against your why, your reason for getting in the trade. I say get out. CVX is an inside day candle. I like to look at those. Why it builds our watch list, and it kind of gives us a support, possible if it reached this level, this is the possible target. So as of now, if it should break above this level of 160, we have an upside target, 160.05, not very far, right? But to the downside, if by chance we break under the 157.16 for CBX today, the downside target is 156.54. So if CBX is something that you trade carefully. The next one is GDX, which we have already reached that target. The breakthrough was 61.51, target 61.63. We have already made a pre-market high of 61.68. Can we get rejected and continue, move to the downside? We very well can. It looks like we've been trading in this little gathering spot. So we were setting up for some type of move, either to the upside or to the downside, right? So should we break under $60.45, $60.42 is the target today for CDX. Y'all, I am super excited. So again, this is what I see when I look at the market. There's so many different ways to trade the market, and what's challenging is trying to figure out the strategy that works best for you and to have the discipline to execute the plan, right? So I hope that everyone have a very profitable and a very productive day today. Again, if you could please like, share, subscribe, because we learn and we grow together. With that being said, y'all be blessed as well as a blessing unto others. Until next time.